Well, I told you I wasn't going to do another show for 10 plus days. But I'm like stir crazy and I had to do it. No, I just had a great message that I was thinking about that I said, you know what? What the hizzy? Let's fire up the episode maker and just do it. So here's an interesting take. So I'm a firm believer in the kind of concept of like no regrets. Now I think obviously with almost any statement there's always outliers. And outliers usually cannot live by. However, with this specific point that I want to make, which of course is why we're here today, is you never guess wrong. Now, what I mean by that is if you take an educated guess, if you bet on yourself, if you bet on something and it fails, everyone's like, oh, you learn from that, and you know, you learn more from your trials than you do from your wins. And I guess that's true, right? I tend to agree with that. But there was a reason why you guessed the way that you did. And there was a reason why you did what the scenario that might have failed did. I don't like the word failure. I think that oftentimes it's a little too negative because you're not really failing. You're not really hitting rock bottom the overwhelming majority of the time. It's more of a buzzword in the entrepreneurial and, you know, marketing and all that crap kind of way. Clearly I've used it. I'm using it here. I get it. But you never really guess wrong, right? Because this main point, and this is what's important, you can absolutely guess wrong for the rest of your life as long as you do this thing. What is that thing? Learn from it. Simple. If you learn from why that was wrong and you don't make that mistake again, guess what? It was a great learning experience. I think the challenge is when you do the same thing over and over and over again, you don't tweak it, you don't learn from it, and you can't figure out why it's not working. Right? Imagine playing a video game. You're like, I can't get past this level. And you continue to do the same strategy over and over and over again. Then you tweak it a little bit and you pass that level. The same goes with life, business, relationships, whatever it might be. If you continue to do the exact same scenario over and over and over again, when you're trying to learn from something and it's not working, you probably need to tweak it just a little. And so the key to my point being, you never guess wrong is guessing wrong. You guessed for a reason, right? You're trying something for a reason, right? And so you keep guessing wrong and you learn from that. And then guess what? You end up getting it right. So you had a thesis, you had a hypothesis. This is why I don't really like business plans, because my business plan says this, something tweaked. You got to change it, right? But if you don't learn from the mistakes, guess what? You can't get better. So while you're making guesses on business, while you're making guesses in life and relationships and whatever it is, the company you're working at right now, whatever it is, you didn't guess wrong in that scenario. There was a reason why you chose that specific task at hand, that specific scenario. Now you learn from it and realize, this might not have been what I wanted, or I want more from it. If you don't guess, if you don't say yes, if you don't put yourself in those scenarios, you can't learn from it. So the most important thing is to just do it, baby. But then when you realize that the scenario isn't what you want it to be, which should almost always be the scenario. We should almost, if we're super not into this scenario or we want more, like we should never be complacent. We should never be satisfied. We should always want more. And if you don't, the people who do are the ones that like get uber success, and we get a lot of people get jealous of, just because they're never satisfied. But you have to raise your hand. You have to guess. You have to get into those scenarios to get the results that you want. And so you're never guessing wrong. There was always a reason why. Always a reason why you guessed one way. Even if you knew it was wrong, you still guessed that way, learn from it, and guess what? A heck of a lot can happen from it. As long as you learn from why that scenario didn't work. Because that's life, right? If you go back and you remember, I did this that one way before and it didn't work, don't do that again. if you keep doing it that way, the scenario may not work. And yes, you technically are guessing wrong, but learn from that and improve. It's that simple, right? So if you want, my favorite quote of all time, one of my favorite quotes, if you want an action to happen, you have to create that action, right? You have to guess wrong before you can guess right a lot of times, right? But you're guessing wrong to learn from that experience to ultimately get the result that you want. So, all right. Here is the takeaway from today's show. Number 1, as always, raise your hand. Number 2, don't dwell in the moment of, oh, I guessed wrong, or, oh, why did I put myself in this scenario? Learn from it. Figure out why it actually is happening. And then get out of it. Don't put a square object in a circle hole unless that circle is big enough that that square fits. Ha! But learn from every scenario, and it will improve your life. Hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful whatever day today is today. Zack Miller out. Peace.